Good morning, everyone. Today we'll be looking at the second chapter of the second module, that is IP, SAN, and FCO. IP SAN is Internet Protocol using the storage area network, and FCO is a fiber channel over the Ethernet. Before moving, we'll look into the introduction part of this chapter. As you already know that we are using the storage area network in a traditional manner to transfer the data to the storage array, and we were storing the information for a longer period of time. And when we have seen the evolution of the storage area network using the fiber channel, which provided the high performance and the scalability. High performance, the transfer of the data was very fast, and the availability of the data was also fast. Scalability, I can get connected to n number of the systems, or I can increase the storage array. But the problem with this one was there was additional cost, especially in terms of when I have to buy the components, and also I need to take the host bus adapters and the switches. Only this was a problem related to the fiber channel. But if you check the systems, they are already having the internet protocol, that is IP, which is inbuilt in our system. So they thought that using this same IP itself, can we utilize it for the purpose of the storage, so that there is no more investment for the storage purpose. So using this itself, can I enable or can I use this IP itself so that I can transfer the blocks of the data, and also I can store it at that same time. So transporting the information and also storing that information or giving the information to the users using this same IP is referred as IP SAN. So moving on to the next one, this IP SAN, whenever they have been using to transfer the data over the network, there is no more much investment because already the IP is inbuilt. That means whenever you check your systems, there is a network interface card. That means the storage through that card you can transfer the data. So there is nothing extra to be installed like in the fiber channel, where you need to take the switches, you need to have the cables and the connectors, different types of the cables and connectors. So that is not been needed. Now this IP is helping us in the various ways. Already the network infrastructure is there, so that is acting as a much more advantage. The second one is it is a robust and also secure. Hope if you know the OSI model, we are using the transport net layer and the network layer, where they are providing the security and the robustness, and also uh, we can see that they are used for the longer distance. And the next one is we can use this IP infrastructure to reach to the various geographical locations. So it is not you don't need any extra infrastructure to extend this one. So there are mainly two protocols built on this one. The first one is internet SCSI. What is this SCSI means? It is a small computer system interface which is already existing in our systems to transfer the data, that is input and output operations is being performed, and now we are using this internet small computer system interface. And the second one is fiber channel over the IP. So these two protocols are being built upon the IP network without installing any extra infrastructure. As I said, that we are not investing extra infrastructure, but using the existing infrastructure itself, we are making sure that we are trying to store more information So these are two protocols. Now we'll be studying the complete architecture. We'll be studying what are the connectivity, what are the protocols being used, and how what is the working procedure, so that these are providing the benefits for the users. The first one is internet small computer system interface. Now you can check here, this is the block diagram for the ISCSI. What does this means? It is a encapsulation over the SSCSI, that is a small computer system interface over the IP. You are already having the IP protocol. Over that, what you have to do is you are just going to encapsulate this small computer system interface. So it is just like a covering. And what it is going to do is it is going to establish and manage the connection between the host and the storage using with the help of what it is IP. Now you can check here, we have a server and we are having this storage array. So here is a IP network. But if you see in the previous diagrams and all, we had here as FC SAN. So if you people remember, or if you have seen, this used to be as FC, it used to be as I'm sorry, it used to be as FC SAN. Now instead of this FC SAN, now you can check that it is being replaced with this IP. That means I am using the IP, that is internet protocol, to transfer the data from the server to the storage. So now what it is going to do is it is using this SSCSI. Okay, this SSCSI technology it is using, and it is been transferring the data. So what it is going to do is, over the already IP I have from this host, right, I am installing one just extra device which is already inbuilt. So please remember, you are not going to install any extra components. This is the host bus adapter. From this one, the data is being transferring using the IP, and then it is being reached to the storage array. And please remember, when I'm using the SSCSI, then the same port also should be available. Now what is the advantage of using this one is, first one, it is inexpensive and also easy to implement. That means I can install it on any of the devices, and also at that same time it is not costing much. Okay, so we'll see in the next one, what are the components that are being required for this internet SSCSI. The first one is the initiator. Now you can check here, we have the initiator. Then the second one is the target, and the third one is IP based network. So IP based network is available, that is a common ethernet what you have been having. So the OSI layer has to be installed in that one, and you have been transferring the information. So this is the IP based network. Then you have the target and the initiator. The initiator is the one from where you are trying to transfer the information, and the target is the one through which you are sending the information. Please remember, via which you are going to send the information, or the one which is storing the information. So I can say here it has to be a source and the destination. When I say the initiator, it can be any of the source, and when I say target, it can be the destination. When I say it as a destination, there can be the two one. Okay, so I shall refer the previous diagram, so it will be very much clear for you people. Now you can check here in this previous diagram, there is a server, right? Here this is a server which has been transferring the information, and you can check here is the storage array. So this is going to act as the source or the initiator. It is going to act as the initiator. And now when I'm been transferring the information, so this is going to act as the target. Now, if you see for this storage array, this is a second storage array, I am not having this SSCSI port. So, for that purpose, this gateway which is having the ISCSI is acting as the target. So, these are the devices that are being needed, and as usual we are having the IP network to transfer the information. Okay, so moving on to the next one. Okay, the next we are looking into the host connectivity. So as I have seen what components have been required, now that when I have these components I need to establish the connection. That means how do I transfer the data from the source sorry, from the initiator to the target via the IP network. Now whenever I have to transfer the information, please remember this information is in a terms of the raw data, right? And also the system has to understand to which area or the which physical disk it has to store. So the disk also it has to be managed. Now how is it going to understand, or where is the network lying, where is the disk available for me, and how it has to be transferred? It has to understand this all the things. So there are totally the three connectivity being required. The first one is the standard NIC, that is network interface card. Okay, so the first one what we have been taking is standard NIC with the software ISCI SCSI initiator. And the second one what we have been taking is the TCP offload engine, NIC with the software initiator again, and we are requiring ISCSI HBA, that is host bus adapter. Okay, so first before moving on to the next one, we'll see that what is the functionality of these connectivities and how they are being going to work. The first one is a standard NIC with the software of the ISCSI and the initiator. Hope everyone knows NIC. NIC is a network interface card which is being used to which is acting as the, I can say, a platform to transfer your data or to receive the data from the internet. So whatever you have been transferring, so it is going to help you out. Now the same way we are using this NIC with this SCSI, that is the internet SCSI, to transfer the data to the storage array. The what are the advantages? The first one, it is the most simplest, it is least expensive and easy to implement. It is like installing your extra RAM memory or extra ROM memory. Okay, and also one more plus point is already you are getting the embedded NICs, that is network interface cards in your systems. So it is what extra is needed is only you have to install the extra software for that one, especially this initiator software. Initiator software means from where the data will be transferred to the target. And what are the functionalities provided by the NIC is, it is providing you the IP function, it is providing you the encapsulation and also the decapsulation of the IP packets. Whenever you're transferring the data over the IP, hope everyone knows the data is broken down into packets, the frames in terms of the IP address to identify to which destination it has to be reached. The same way, encapsulation and decapsulation operations are being performed using this NIC. And when I'm using this all NIC with the what is that, initiator, the problem with this one is there is a additional overhead. As additional overhead is involved, then obviously there is a bottleneck. That means there is a bit overloading on the host whenever the operations, that is input and output operations, are being performed. The next one is a TCP offload engine, in short called as a TOE-NIC with the software SIC initiator. What this is going to do is, whatever the NIC was having the overloading or the bottleneck, so that is all overcome by this TCP offload engine. So what it is going to do is, it is going to manage the functions between the host and the storage array. So first what this host was doing, it is performing the all the operation conversions and the managing of the packet. So what it is going to do is it is going to break that functionality, and it is only going to give for SSCSI to perform its own function, and IP is going to perform its own function. So there is no overhead involved on both the terms. So now what it is going how the host is going to perform is it is going to pass only the information, right, information to this TOE card, and later what it is going to do is it is going to send the information to the destination. So if in case I have to draw is there is a server that is the initiator, which is having this ISC port, and this TOE is installed. When it is transferring it to the target array using this IP network, so in between what it is going to do, it is going to send it to this TOE card wherever it is being installed, and later it is using this TIP to transfer, sorry, the TCP IP to transfer it to the destination. But first the host was using all this one to perform this operation, so that is being reduced. And also the benefit of this one is it is going to improve the solution in terms of the overload. And next one is ISC HBA. What is that HBA? It is host bus adapter. Now what are the benefits of having this one is obviously it is going to increase the performance. Also it is going to it is going to boot from the host itself. It is not going to wait for the operating system to be loaded. And whenever we don't have this host bus adapter, and then what it is going to do is it has to load, or it has to make all the modifications that are being needed right from that basic operations. So as you people know that whenever you're loading or you're booting the system, so NIC is going to check all the IP address is correct before the operating system is loaded, and it is going to check all the hardware is correctly or no. The same way, even this ISCI HBA is needed to make sure the what is that NIC along with the initiator is working properly, and also TCP IP offload engine, that is NIC, that is also acting as one card which is used to reduce the overhead. Okay, even that is also working properly or not. Okay, so this host bus adapter is trying to transfer the data and reduce all the overload that is being created either by the host or the storage. The moving on to the next one is how are these being connected? When I say there are various components, we are using the connectivity to transfer the data from the initiator to the target, and using the IP based network. Then how do I arrange them? Okay, so how do I transfer the data and the devices are being connected? So we are having totally the three types. One is the native ISC-SI connectivity. The second one is the bridged, and the third one is the combining both the FC and also the ISC-SI connectivity. Okay. Now in the first one, you can check that here we have the server, that is the initiator. Now you can check here you have ISC-SI-HBA, that is one of the connectivity it is being used from the server, that is the host, to the this is the adapter to transfer the data. You are having the IP network to transfer the data. You can check in this storage array, which is the target. You are using the same port. You don't have the different ports to transfer. Okay, so the same, when I'm using the same port, then automatically I need to have the adapter for that one, so that it is going to understand. Now for example, if I have to say you is I talk a German language and you don't know that German language, then can you get that though the information will be flowing, but you will not be knowing what exactly I am being talking, right? So to understand that one German language, if in case I talk, you are going to use that translator, so that it will be converted into your own language, that is you can understand, and it is to be stored. The same way these adapters are going to act for you. Okay, so this is the native connectivity. Now you can check the second one is the bridged connectivity. Now again, as you have the two servers in this one. The second server, if you check here, I shall just name the servers. This is the first server and this is the second server. The first server is using the ISCSI, okay, and this is using FC, that is fiber channel host bus adapter. If you remember, in the first chapter we have been studied the fiber channel components in which we are using the adapter. Now in these both the host, or I can say the initiators, are having the different components. This is using small computer system interface adapter and this is using fiber channel adapter. Now when it is using fiber channel adapter, then the network that I have here is the fiber channel SAN. Hope if you remember the diagrams that we have come across, this is using FC SAN. Now when I'm using fiber channel, then automatically I need to have this fiber channel port. I have only one storage array. Now, but I have a one host, that is a first host, which is using this SCSI. Okay. Now, which is transferring the data using which network? It is using the IP network. It is not using the fiber channel. Now what is that technology I need to put it over there, or the device I need to put it over there, so that the data that is being transferred using the IP, it has to be converted using the FC, that is the fiber channel SAN, and again it has to be stored. So simple, what I'm using is the gateway, where this gateway is providing the connectivity between the IP SAN and the FC SAN. Okay, so the data is being transferred using this simple. So I am not using installing any extra components. I've not installed any fiber channel components. This is the older system what I'm been talking. Okay, so this is the second one. So can I combine all these together into only one connectivity? So we'll see the third one. So now you can check over here in this one, we have been having both together. One where we are using this ISCSI having the IP, and we are using the port directly and connected to the storage array. And here we are been having the what is that, fiber channel, having together with the fiber channel SAN and then transferring the data. So if you refer the previous diagram, which is the bridging, okay, you are having the gateway, so you are using the gateway to transfer the information to the fiber channel SAN and then it is being stored. But in the third one, they are not going to use that one, where directly you are using ISCI port adapter, and ISCI port directly it is being connected to the storage array. So the gateway is being cut down in that one. Okay, so this was all about your IP IP SAN. Just it is a beginning, and also we have studied that is internet small computer system interface, right? So in the upcoming classes we will be seeing that how the protocol stack is been there, how the data is being transferred, and how they are going to name the servers, right? How they are been converting the data using the same over the IP. And next we will be seeing the fiber channel internet protocol. Okay, thank you.